A mother who volunteers to dedicate a mirror to her ill son benefits from giving. City volunteers in Indonesia joined the military to hold a free clinic in a remote village. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri. Thank you for joining us. Everyone has their reasons to be a volunteer. For Tzu Chi, it was for her son's sake. Her son was born with multiple birth complications. At first, she thought the good deeds would bring blessings to her son, but over time, she realized just how great it feels to give back to others.
这个感恩户的，住在上面山上。
This slope is like a life test. We both said to each other that this is like the beginning of learning how to walk the Bodhisattva path. Each time we have to climb it, we are testing our dedication and the unwillingness of giving up on this journey.
要一鼓作气上去。看到了，加油，加油！就是一个独居老人住在这边，我们现在就是要去看他。 到了 ，Hello， 你好，哎，要乖乖的哦，要乖乖的哦。
这个是生的哦，哦，这是生的蛋，你要拿去冰。
阿宝，来，
对，
好乖哦，
好坐下，
好乖哦。
坐下。最近身体怎么了？
太阳太大了，手有点晕了。
晕眩哦，够开心晕眩了哈。
实际的啊，他常常来看我的。
是哦，
对，我说他们过来的时候，有心里很高兴了，很开朗了。就在这里，对，
哪两件？
这个也是这个，这直接来给我的吧。
My son needs to eat foods that are a bit mushier, so you have to cook it a little longer. It's easier for him to chew and digest like this.
说你要端菜。
端菜。
哦，啊，你喜欢吃什么？今天妈妈煮什么？
看着早餐。
你喜欢吃吗？
喜欢。
My name is Zhang Hongwei. I'm 22 today. I'm 22 years old.
When he was born, there was a birth defect that caused a split down his abdominal wall. There was a part of the intestine that was hanging out. All the organs below his appendix are in pairs, which resulted in him having 2 bladders and 2 genitals. The doctors had to remove one of them. But even so, he still has incontinence issues. This is why he still has to wear diapers to this day.
哎呦，所以之前那里是开什么？
这边就是他拆除多余器官，然后出生塞肠子的，医生都说他是国宝级，应该没有人有。
哦，小伟，你为什么要把衣服折得这样小小的？干嘛折得这样小小的？
比较好放。我的。 有慈济的，还有慈济衣服。
家里你都负责帮忙做什么？
扫地、拖地、折衣服、翻衣架。
These are all from the local clothing stores. All the clothing are prepackaged in these clear plastic bags, and they have to take each pieces out one by one. Before, they would just throw it away in piles. However, now I actively come to collect them on a regular basis, which reduces their burden as well. I used to do volunteering solely for my son. You see, his health condition is not well, so I thought if I gave back to society, all the good deeds will bring blessings upon him. However, the more I volunteered, the more I felt that I had something to give back as well. I was learning so much while doing the good deeds. Just like what Master Zheng Yan stated, the more we do, the more we gain.
Heavy rains recently hit Sichuan, China, leading to flooding in Jintang County. After the water receded, city volunteers once again mobilized people to help with cleaning efforts.
On July 16th, heavy rains pounded Jintang, Sichuan again, causing all the shops along the Pi River to be severely affected.
I've just restocked, although I've lost everything. Now I am recovering and starting all over again. People in Jintang are always strong.
The shop owner's words of helplessness conveyed his strong will, but he knew he was not alone in cleaning on this day. City volunteers mobilized kind-hearted people from all walks of life to help affected residents clean up the mud.
The area was flooded so badly. We can imagine how these affected residents felt when the floods occurred. We feel heartbroken, so we want to contribute our share to help them get through the tough times.
Although everyone was sweating while cleaning under the heat, no one stopped to take a rest. They said that as long as they did more, they could help reduce the residents' fatigue.
Everyone feels very tired, and I'm also sweating all over my body. Despite the hardship, I feel very happy from the bottom of my heart to do such a good deed. I don't care about other things.
When we first arrived, there was a lot of mud, which was very dirty. After I put a lot of effort into the cleaning and washed the ground with water, it looks very clean now. I feel a sense of accomplishment.
In addition to cleaning in the public areas of Jintan County, volunteers also went to an experimental elementary school to clean the campus. They hope that the nightmare brought by the torrential rains will not continue.
In Fujian of China, there's a Tzu Chi scholarship recipient whose mother works odd jobs to support the family. After a few visits, the volunteers noticed that there's no decent furniture in their house. Since one volunteer has just donated his second-hand furniture, the volunteers brought them to the scholarship recipient's house. After driving for nearly an hour on the countryside roads, the volunteers finally arrive at Tzu Chi scholarship recipient Ji Wenxin's home. While some volunteers greet Jin Wenxin's family, others have brought the second-hand furniture through the back door.
When we distributed scholarships, we noticed that there is no decent furniture in her room. We happen to have second-hand furniture that is in good condition.
Seeing how the volunteers have brought them furniture, Mrs. Ji feels a bit embarrassed. Seeing how the room is cluttered, the volunteers start to clean up the place. Realtor Yang Liangshan is volunteering for the first time with his wife.
In the past, I would shun garbage, but I feel different this time working with Tzu Chi volunteers.
Her father is in poor health and her mother works to support the family. Since the child and her brother are still young, the volunteers work together to clean up the house.
I am deeply touched, as they even helped me organize these items.
3 hours later, the room has a new appearance. Seeing the smiles on the faces of the family, the volunteers know their efforts have been worthwhile. The Zhengyi recycling station in Kaohsiung covers some 5,100 square meters, with over half of the area set up like a community park. It is staffed by Tzu Chi volunteers as well as local neighbors. It is open 24 hours a day in order to host important activities for the community seniors.
The recycling station doesn't have a door, and it's open to the public 24 hours a day, so the community is free to enter.
I come to the recycling stations almost every day. I try to treat everyone like they're my family, whether they're here for a walk or whether they're doing recycling. I treat everyone the same and will serve them tea.
He had a stroke and he was sort of wooden. He always looked straight ahead, but now he is more cheerful.
They're good neighbors and we often interact. If they raise any vegetables and fruits that are left with, they will send them to us.
I work every day. I don't take a rest. I have to do it in the middle of the day because I have to wait for shops to close at 3 o'clock to collect recycling. I set up this recycling point. Residents who want to donate their recycling just put it here, and I will take care of it. I'm still going over there. I go and do recycling and sometimes go into the community to see how they do recycling and hope to learn from them. I also watch it on TV and DaAi TV as I take this work seriously.
She's responsible for recycling every day, so I don't have to accumulate so much. Seeing her work shows that it is not easy. Sometimes the recycling that I collected, I send it to her home.
They invited me and I like to come here. Sometimes I come once every 2 months or once a month. I want to help these elders cut their hair.
I come once every 2 weeks. Everyone meets quite often.
I like to come. Yes, it's easy to make friends.
In Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers in Banten went to the remote Secondhand village for the first time. After discovering that it's not easy for the villagers to seek medical attention, Tzu Chi decided to collaborate with the military to hold a free clinic and aid distribution there.
This was the Tzu Chi's free clinic that residents in Secondhand village had long desired. Everyone brought their papers to register for the event. Elderly people had volunteers to accompany them.
Begitu disampaikan, awal ada rencana kegiatan bakti sosial.
I'm very thankful to all of the residents of Secondhand village for participating enthusiastically in the event. This means that they all know the importance of taking good care of their health.
Cukup bagus dan mereka sangat-sangat baik menerima kita.
The Tzu Chi Bandung Liaison Office cooperated with the military to organize a free clinic at a local elementary school, serving 483 people.
Terbantu. Contohnya seperti sekarang.
I received a lot of help from the event. This free clinic is like the community health service station, since it also provides free checkups. I feel very grateful, and I wish everyone well.
Di lapang itu sering.
To hold the aid distribution at the same time, volunteers also conducted home visits to distribute supply vouchers a few days prior to the event.
It took us 2.5 hours to come here from Bandung. After checking their living conditions, we found that they really needed the aid distribution and free clinic.
Volunteers distributed a total of 370 sets of aid supplies, which included rice, oil, cookies, and more. By providing the much-needed supplies, volunteers hope to improve the residents' lives.
Dr. Zeng Wenshang was invited by his wife to be a part of the TIMA team. After he attended Tzu Chi's free clinic for the first time in July, he was quite concerned about the seniors that he had seen. 1 week later, he invited other doctors and volunteers to conduct some medical home visits.
1 week later, the medical team conducted home visits again. Dr. Zheng Wenshang, who attended Tzu Chi's free clinic for the first time, was quite concerned about the elderly patient.
After he returned home from the medical home visits, he told me that he wanted to do more. He wanted to do more for these grandpas and grandmas.
Most of the seniors in Sanzhi live alone, have physical difficulties, or are bedridden. They have only one simple wish.
When I was leaving and bidding farewell to the grandma, she asked me when will be the next time that I am going to visit her again.
Looking for Japanese songs and purchasing a CD player, Dr. Zheng wants to reduce this 92-year-old grandmother's depressive mood.
Since I am not able to always stay by her side, at least the CD player can be played when I am not there.
Holding hands and stretching legs, the medical team seized the time to check the grandmother's health. In addition to giving her care and blessings, volunteers also made a promise to her.
It's quite normal for newborns to have symptoms of jaundice within the first few days of their lives, but it usually goes away within a 2-week period. However, when the condition does not subside, parents must take the child to the hospital for examination of the jaundice index. So how should parents pay attention to the signs? Let's take a look at today's report.
A newborn baby has symptoms of jaundice due to the inability of liver functions to metabolize bilirubin. The normal jaundice index is 12 or less, called physiological jaundice. If it exceeds 15, then the newborn must be hospitalized.
Usually, the yellowing of the skin starts from the head all the way down to the legs. If the color in the limbs are just as yellow as the face, usually the jaundice index has reached 15 or above. This is a sign for a higher probability of pathological jaundice. This may result in acute bilirubin brain lesions or a nuclear jaundice.
Jaundice in newborns is most noticeable when the baby is 3 to 5 days old, and it usually goes away after 7 to 10 days. If the index is too high after the Heal blood test, the usual treatment is using ultraviolet light, wavelength of 425 to 475 nanometers, to help dissolve the bilirubin. People often ask whether the sun or fluorescent lamps at home can improve jaundice, but doctors remind us that this is a misguided notion.
Sunlight is full wavelength, so only a small portion of it has a healing effect. When the child is very close to the exposure of this type of light source, there are also risks of possible burns or dehydration issues.
Parents should pay close attention to the vitality of newborns, whether their cries are consistent or the neck and body are arched backwards. In addition, there are many other jaundice risk factors to consider: glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency, blood type mismatch between mother and baby, premature birth, etc. The earlier the diagnosis, the earlier treatments can be administered.
Even children have the chance to help others. For kindergarten children, accompanied by family members, visited Haichong Tzu Chi Hospital to donate their hair, which they had been growing for many years. They hope their hair will be used to make wigs for those battling cancer.
This long hair may lead one to think that this child is a girl, but actually he is a little boy.
I want to donate my hair, do a good deed, and help children battling cancer.
5-year-old NN was enrolled in kindergarten, and a high school student that he knew passed away because of cancer, giving her hair before her death, which made a deep impression upon him.
Because she died, he wanted to do good things just like she did. Growing his hair meant that he didn't look like a boy, but he wasn't worried about ridicule, as he would tell people that he simply wanted to donate his hair to help children battling cancer.
NN also encouraged his cousins to donate.
He said he would donate, and she also said that she wanted to donate.
His mother cuts his long hair by hand. Now he looks like a handsome young boy. In total, 4 children came to Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital to donate their hair, providing more resources for those battling cancer.
用真的头发 制造的这个假发。
A wig made of real hair is actually very expensive. Since last year, there have been many donations from caring people, so we hold this event and are able to make many new wigs.
很多这个新的这个假发。
With everyone doing their best to help those in need, these young children are also inspired with the spirit of charitable deeds.
Since physically or mentally challenged individuals face many daily challenges, very few of them are able to enter the workforce successfully. However, in our next report, we'll meet some people who were able to make the transition from training workshop to the workplace. Among the cases, one man who's mentally challenged spent a month on learning how to sweep the ground. Fortunately, he's now working as a cleaning staff at the central office of the Ministry of the Interior.
比较脏乱的地方被我用干净，我觉得很开心很快乐。我可以自己出去外面自己独立工作，可以认识不一样的人。我很喜欢我现在这份工作。那就也要跟你拿卫生纸。
要了，好，我拿给你。卫生纸哈，你可能还要再去领哦。
好，我知道，很有成就感吧。
I feel a sense of achievement as I work. I feel very happy.
开心。
He is nice to people and works very hard. While he seems to be sweating a lot while working, he still feels happy.
Yao Long works even more energetically upon hearing people's words of praise. It took him 9 years before he could work as a full-time employee.
长长的一条就是室外的走廊。
He did not know how to sweep the long hallways. For us, we can do this job in 5 steps. However, it might take them 10 to 20 steps to do the same task. So we are here to help them accomplish the work with clear instructions.
1、2、3，好，我们自习。
At the training center, there are different color arrows on the floor, which help guide the mentally challenged individuals to visually see where they're supposed to go.
谢谢老师教我，我会努力把工作做好。
Hong Zhaoyu, who is mild autism, has been able to work independently after undergoing training courses.
Work allows me to make friends besides earning an income. I can also travel abroad. It brings me a lot of joy.
After 2 to 3 years or 3 to 4 years of training, he will gain enough abilities to be independent. He has also learned to manage his emotions, so I see no problems with him successfully integrating into the workforce.
以前真的就是觉得说没有未来。
In the past, it seemed like he did not have a future. Now there is hope, as he has a clear direction to move forward from.
前進的方向。
Seeing his son's growth, Mr. Peng is very delighted. He could not have imagined that his son could improve so much.
品质是尊严的起点，成功是做好每件事。
As long as people take time to discover the strength of people with special needs, they'll realize that through training, these people can also have a bright future. We should give them the opportunity to challenge themselves and pursue a brighter future.
City volunteers in Northern California recently held a garage sale in Saratoga. They hope to introduce Tzu Chi to the local residents through this event. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.